ribs. These are some nice pork loin back ribs, St. Louis cut, extra thick, meaty. I've been jonesing on ribs for a while. You noticed last week we did some good pastured pork ribs, which were nice and thick from Livestock. And these are just more ribs doing the same thing. And here I'm removing the membrane. And what I usually do, I usually use a sharp knife, but you know, for most folks, that's probably, even for me, that's not really smart. Use a butter knife, something you can't cut yourself with, and you work that right underneath that membrane, underneath a couple of the bones like I'm doing here. Kind of work it to the side a little bit. You see how that membrane's pulling up? This membrane makes the ribs and meaty. I've been jonesing on ribs lately, so we're going to do ribs again this week. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you how to pull that membrane off. I usually use a sharp knife, but that's really not smart. You should use a butter knife for this because that's less chance to cut yourself. The way you do this, you start this under the bone and kind of give it a little twist. And just enough that you can get it started and get your finger under there, and then you pull this off. And what this does, it allows your seasonings to reach the meat. Alright, so once you start getting a little bit up, you can get your finger underneath it. I usually try and get my finger under, and I just try and pull and slide. If you can see what I'm doing here is you pull this up. Because this membrane is real tough, makes it tough to chew on the bones, or chew on the meat. It's hard to chew through this, and your seasonings don't reach the meat. And you see what I'm doing here? Come closer and look at this. You see how I'm pulling this up? And you just pull it all the way through until you can pull it off. And it's real slippery. Sometimes it helps to take it and hold it with a paper towel. You can get it off that way. But you want to get as much of it off as you can and just pull it all the way down and off. And that way, you see, now you're down to your meat, and your seasonings will be on the meat now, and it's just much easier and more pleasant to eat. Okay, this is what it looks like when you got a good start on that membrane. Pulls off nice and easy. This is a really nice one. One of the nicest I've ever pulled off. Usually you have to wrestle with it a bit. But there it is. Look at that. That's about the nicest I've ever seen. Just pull it off and clean it up there a little bit. You see, now you're down to your meat. It'll be nice and tender. And you want to put your rub on it. And today, there's two schools of thought here. Some people say you don't do the back of the ribs because there's the bones there. You're wasting your rub. Myself, I think your lips and your tongue taste both the front and the back. So I like to use my rub on both sides. We're going to use a little butt shaker here and just kind of rub it in a little bit. And I'm going to put these guys on the grill at smoke for 225. And I want to see if I can get these done a little faster than I normally do. So I'm going to try for 2 hours or so at 325 after I smoke for that bit of time. Look at, aren't these beautiful? Let's put a nice heavy coat on here and rub that in good. And let's see what kind of magic we can work here. So we're going to finish these off with a little of Uncle Bob's Little Do It Kick-Ass Honey Bourbon Sauce. Bob brought this and gave it to us at the craft brewery when we were cooking the other night. There's a sauce that he makes and bottles himself. It sounds good, tastes good, sweet and spicy, but don't turn your back on it. It kicks. Is his thoughts on it. So we'll give it a shot and see what we think.
I got these beauties on the grill here. Got them on the Royall 3000. As you can see, they are really nice ribs, nice and meaty. Got them all rubbed up. And I'm going to run them at 1/2 hour at 225. And I'm using pecan pellets because I want that. Pecan is just magic. That's all there is to it. I'm going to run them with pecan wood smoke for a 1/2 hour, then turn them up to 325 with the thoughts that maybe we can have dinner around 6 o'clock or so. At least that's the thought. We're going to try and see what happens. Usually I cook these things a long time, really slow. Alright guys, look at this. Tell me these don't look good. Wait, can you hear the rain? This is Southern California. We don't ever get any rain here. So we're out here having our date night, sitting here in our rainforest theme on our patio, and we hear all the rain hitting the tin of the roof here and hitting in the pond. It's pretty nice. All you guys that have weather, you guys probably don't like it, but we don't have any weather, so it's a real treat. Back to the ribs. Check this out. Don't these guys look good? I've had them on an hour now at 300, so I did a half hour at 225 smoking in pecan wood, and an hour now, I think it was, yeah, absolutely 300. And they are just about done. I'm getting ready to sauce them up, and we're going to have to eat soon. Absolutely beautiful. You should smell it. I am on my Royall 3000, smoking some real nice ribs on here, and I want to show you something that Brad Barrett from Grill Greats sent me. I've got it here on my hopper. Check this out. If you can read that, that's all your grilling temperature. It shows you everything you need to know about your temperatures and several different styles of cooking and where you want to be on the safe side. And it's magnetic. Thank you, Brad from Grill Greats. Sauced up real nice now. We used Uncle Bob's sauce. It's a really tasty sauce. I had to taste it as I was putting it on. We've been on the grill now at 325 for an hour. We smoked it for a half hour at 225, and our internal temperature is 140. So we're going to eat real soon. Sauce these guys up, brown it off. All right, we're good to go. Pull these. I had these guys on at 225 for 30 minutes, and I kicked them up to 325 degrees. My timer says 133 minutes. And I've got an internal temperature and a thick part of the meat of 182. So I'd say it's time to eat. Sauce them up real good. They smell awesome. How good these smell. Getting ready to cut them up and chow down. Stay tuned. These things look beautiful. I haven't tasted them yet, but I've smelled them and I have licked my fingers. Let's eat.